Hello, welcome back to the Volvo 850 channel. Now, a kind viewer subscriber sent mail, so let's start with the first mailbox or mailbag as Dave Jones likes to call it. So, that was a bad idea. This is the topic for today. Some of you may recognize this as the ABS module that came out in 1996 with the 1996 Volvo 850. It's also used, I think, in 97, 98. I think this is from a 98 model, and there was some, as I understand, ABS issues on the car and all the sensors checked out fine. So these have been known to fail, and it's actually quite a typical fault for them to have these issues where they fail. So I will try not to talk too much and just take you through the process of repairing this module. Now, first step, of course, is to get this off the car. This is fastened with Torx E5 sockets. This, as many of you know, is a regular Torx, but there are also Torx sockets. So in order to get it off, you need to get one of those. They are usually very inexpensive, a few dollars, a few euros each, so it's not really a cost as such. It will save you a lot of time. I have heard also people using the closest regular socket you can find, but if you fail on that, then I really don't know how you would be able to get without boring out the screws, without taking out to get the module out if you round the edges of this Torx, because basically the the bolt here looks like a Torx head. That is this here that you have 4 of. I have also understood that it is possible to drive without these units. Of course, you will get a lot of error codes and messages from your ABS light will turn on and all these kinds of things. And but I have understood it is possible. So when you take this off, you will see from the brake module that you have protruding pipes going into all of these connections. So these are a good idea to try to keep as clean as possible. The reason you're supposed to be able to drive without this unit is because these protruding pipes have actually valves. So if this unit is not there, there will be no leakage of the brake fluid. The problem with this unit is that you have these connectors. The unit is actually located in the car at this angle, and then you have 2 big connectors going in from this side. The reasons these modules break is because when they are located in the car at this angle, there goes 2 electrical connectors into them. The power, easily identified with these two big connectors here, and then these smaller pins here. These ones here, and power goes in here. And these are the ones we want to get at on the actual electrical board. And the reason why these break off is actually that the solder gets small micro cracks and then causes problems in the connection, and that is why a unit that is not functioning well will, after you reset the code, it will function for a while, and then some days might be fine and other days might not be. So And this might even vary from drive to drive, because when you reach 40 kilometers, I think about 25 miles, the unit does a self-check, and you might even feel it in the brake pedal or in the throttle, that there is a small jitter when the unit self-checks, and then if everything checks out okay that time, then you will have the ABS light will turn off, and you will have tracks and all these things again. So these big connectors, they move and they wiggle a little bit, and they cause the solderings to crack. So without further ado, let's start opening up this box. There are a few things you need to consider before opening this box. You have these retaining pins here. These need to be removed, all four, and then you have a split here in the case where it's actually glued tight, and there is also a labyrinth seal that or grooves, but grooves here that these two cases fit together. One quick way is actually taking a hacksaw and sawing it off. If you're going to use this method, then you should only saw the minimum amount you need into it. You can't saw straight through the box, because then there are some components sticking out and you will damage them. And cut them in half. That is happened to one of my friends, and then to junkyards to find a box from a scrapped car. So I personally like to bend these plastics open and bend this box carefully. It's possible and it takes more time, but I feel in the end you will get you will still retain these grooves, and it will possibly seal better, and there is no risk that you saw anything. So I'll start with removing these retaining pins, and usually these fly around very long, and then you can't find them anymore, and in the end you decide that you didn't need them anyways. And then I will start with a small flathead screwdriver, just prying this all open around here. And I will speed up the video, and hopefully I will zoom in a bit as well and not talk during this. So in the editing I will speed up that, because that was I've not done this in a while, so I didn't remember how to get these fasteners off, and there it went, so I won't be needing that anymore. But anyways, the trick was basically to get a very thin small screwdriver and just jam it in there, and then try to lever it out, this locking washer. Okay, so I've been at it now for 5 minutes. I broke basically this upper lip because there is a similar lip on the inside, and then there is this one groove that goes, oh, sorry about that. Broke this upper lip here, basically almost cracked it off, and then there is a similar lip a bit more to the inside, and then this lid goes in between them, forming a groove. When you do this yourself it will be much more apparent, but what I did here to speed up this process was actually to push a hole through this lid groove a bit, so I could get my bigger screwdriver in there and then just push it through in order to break this unit open. So hopefully once it starts going it will become much more easier. Okay. Here is then the final product. As you can see, one groove is here, and then is this external groove. The external groove, I managed to retain about 50% of it. You can actually retain almost everything if you do it more slowly, but now I think I cracked this one open in 5 minutes, so that's why it took a lot less time. But now, the following, I will zoom in. So, here are all the connectors, and here are the power pins. These are the ones that usually crack. So the next step is to remove, there is a jelly-like compound here that we need to remove from the board. So I will very, very delicately scrape this away. So, back to the actual repair. Now, under here we have the two power connectors and all of these. You can look with a good magnifying glass loupe or a microscope if you can see the actual micro cracks in the board, but I used that method first time I tried it and put it back in the car, and then there was some cracks I did not see. So what I end up doing is reopening the module again and then soldering everything. So really anything connected here needs to be resoldered. My soldering skills are not that good. I have done this successfully a few times, but so please do not comment about them. If anybody has a good soldering tutorial video, please send it to me and I will put it in the description so that people will get the proper idea. But you can approach this two ways. You can take suction thread and heat it up with your soldering iron and suck out the old solder that is on the pin, and then apply new solder. So this is actually, I think, copper thread that will suck up remaining, or then you can try to melt the existing one. I have done both and both have worked, but I have in all cases I have added more solder. But as far as I know, you should, when you're soldering, you should heat the pin and the board so you get a good heat, and then you should also have that I don't have now, flux. Flux is an acid and it removes the oxidation or oxidation from the surface of the pins, and then it will allow the solder to stick more. If the solder, once you're done, becomes a ball, then it's cold solder, then it's not good. It should be more of a pyramid or melting snow cone type of scenario. What is also good to have is some sort of paper to clean your tip while you're doing it. This soldering iron is not in any way suited for this type of work, but let's see how it goes. So, fairly happy with that one. Number one is done. For the next one I won't bother, I will just try to melt the existing solder and add more to it. And this is the way you proceed throughout the whole board. So when I come to these pins here that are away from these ABS, these pins that are over on the right, as we see it now, these are all the ABS sensors from various parts of the car. And these here, these are the 4 big connectors, and they are connected. So here I like to, they can be soldered together. You don't have to solder them separately in any way. And the thing is, you should try to melt the existing solder on the board. In hindsight, I should have started by really taking this suction thread and sucking out all of the existing solder from all connections, applying flux and then putting it back. That would be the proper way, but if there is a good soldering video, they will show you and give much better instructions than me on that. Since this is not, I will never claim this is anything I have this is not, does not belong to any of to my skill set. I can do it, but for an electronics guy, this would be a nightmare to watch, I think. So there. Now this board should be effectively repaired and fixed. I was able to keep 2 of these retaining washers, and now the next part would be to actually assemble the unit again. Here there are a few schools on how to do it. Some like to use glue, hard glue, and glue it, but I was very happy the first time I did it that I did not actually glue this thing together, that I used a silicone compound, because I had to open it again the very next day in order to make it work for real. So silicone, apply it around everywhere, and then I like to, special guest star today is a spider, so move along. Thank you for your cooperation. So I was able to evict the spider, momentarily at least. So the next step is to just apply a thin bead of silicone around everything. Then I like to put the lid back on. Don't overdo it. If you have to do it again, just do it so that it will be still keep out the water from the outside environment. And then I like to use black electrical tape to put a wire of tape a few times around here, and then I put back the lock washers. And then you reinstall the module. You will have the ABS light on when you go driving, but in the end, when you go reach 40 kilometers per hour, the system will do a self-check, and it will then, if everything, your repair was successful, then it will self-diagnose and your ABS light will turn off. So that is it for today. Thank you, and I will return to this video. Let's be honest about the situation here. Now, why I did not complete this video at this point is just the following reason. Somebody, I won't name any names, decided to go in where this connector is located and open the box from here. And when I did this, I accidentally scraped the board. As you can see there, this white area, and a few components got knocked loose as well. So this broken ABS module is now really beyond any normal repair. It could still be done. I would just need to get somebody with a bit smaller welding iron and put these resistors, I think, back on, solder them on, and then take a wire from here to here. So let's see if the resistors are still around. Perhaps I could give it a go. But this was the fundamental principles behind the ABS box repair. I strongly recommend when you open the box that you go in through, we have this corner here. You go in through this corner, that will be located on the top here. So here is the big connector. Go in through here and bend it open like this, or then the safer way to go alongside this edge and bend it up once you get under this lip that is here, so you can start bending it up. Until next time. So, some horrible soldering to be done. This is one of the resistors, seems to be about 1600 or 400 ohms depending on how I measure. So let's see if I can. Nope, it's not gonna work. Which is a shame. So, plan B it is. There is one resistor, there's the other. I'm not expecting you to be able to see anything. Okay, success. Great success. Once again, welcome back. It's been a week, perhaps even two, since I repaired and in the process broke this ABS box. So now I actually went and got these bigger resistors so I can solder them on, and this is now might be, hopefully, the completion of this video, that I actually fix these. So wish me luck. Okay, resistor number 1 soldered on. Not my best work. But then again, never give up. Probably the way to go. There are people who know how to repair electronics. After much consideration, if they charge 50 euros or 50 bucks for this repair, then it's a very cheap one, because it's much more simple than getting a completely new box. So let's move this out of the way, and the next one I will actually break this connector here to make it more simple for me, because the other one is broken. Really, when you make an omelette, you have to break a few eggs, and here I'm breaking this tracing line, or what you might call it, on the board. Let's check continuity, I think it's pronounced. From here to here, still have continuity, but not here, so I would need to connect these two. Hopefully it's not on anymore. Yes, now it's still connected. Okay, so now I've broken the connection. This means that I can basically solder onto both of these two connection points where I lost this little, you can't probably see anything, but when this happens to you, you'll figure it out. Or figure out your own way of repairing this. Let's keep it. Whoa. Big. Okay, let's check to see that there is no continuity between these two soldering balls, the size of basketballs, and there is. So we can't have that. My soldering iron is not the best, so I will do it this way. And some suction. Okay, that's of course one way to do it as well, just by pulling it out. Let's see here now. So they are. Everyone is always connected, so that was a waste of time. So measure once, cut twice. Perhaps that's the way to go. So basically another one bites the dust. Oh well, when in Rome. Why not do 2 or 3 while we're at it? I'm going to turn off the video here for a while. This 1 week break was not enough. This absolutely beautiful Frankenbox should now be according to to spec. So let's see here. Few continuity measurements. What we get. I think these resistors, when we measured them at the store, was 5.25 mega ohms, and my meter goes to 2 mega ohms, so that's why I had a hard time, but we're getting the same measurements from all of these. And if I try one of these ones that I managed to not break, get quite a similar value. Nothing is really comparable here in measurements because yeah, I get the same value here. So these, apparently it seems like the input is on this side. We'll give on this meter 0.03. Oh, sorry about that, folks. Let's try to get the meter so you actually can read something instead of listening to me wondering something. So if I measure at this end, here, this one goes here, I get this 0.33 something units of measurement, 0.28, okay, units of measurements. And if I go to this end, I get a 0. Should be getting a 0.3 measurement or similar. And this one here. So, but this tool is not entirely accurate for this type of measurements. Well, this is that then. So Niklas, you will be getting your box back without a warranty, but it was broken when it came to me. It was broken during the fixing process, and now it's probably the best shape it has been in for a while. And at times like this, it's just better to go and lick your wounds and yeah. So, thank you, and until next time. Bye. So, back again, even though I have said goodbye a few times and so on, but in order to make these not ground to any other contact, I'm just putting some tape around them. I don't know if it's probably not a bad idea from an electrical point of view, but if it's the best possible idea from heat dissipation and these things, I have no idea. But then these resistors are more beefier than the original ones over there, and they're in this protective goo schmoo from the factory. So let's just see if this lid will fit on snugly, which it does. So that's finally. I also, while off camera, did some continuity measurements, and there are a few different values on the resistors here, but the ones in this end that were broken checked out fine and similar, with similar values. So now, since I started and lured you into this adventure, I will take the time to finish it with you as well. By the way, if you're still watching, hopefully you have seen how to do and how not to do. So now I'm applying my schmoo silicone. I like to get around these bolt holes, and like so. A good idea here in this case is to put a lot of schmoo on it, so it's impossible to ever open and ever witness the horror, because who will ever know with this particular box? Who will ever find out the way in the matter of in which this was repaired? Now, for you who is sitting wondering why I changed resistors, that's or if you're just joining, why would you start looking at the video at the end of it? But anyways, the resistors I soldered in, they were strictly and purely for one purpose, and that is to, because somebody broke them while opening the box. A perfect demonstration how not to do, and really the only thing was soldering these big connection poles there, which I did every one of them, and that usually does the trick. So now some pressure on there, and nice to have a glove for making this completely watertight. You can of course do it without a glove, and if you do it, I would recommend using dish soap or some similar thing, because this shot actually will make so that your hands do not, the silicone will not stick to your hands. It will stick to everything known to man, but not to dish soap. So with that logic, dish soap is an unknown substance to man. And then I said I like to finish with black electrical tape, and for this occasion I have gotten white electrical tape. So let's put these lock washers back in place. Like so. And here you see the benefits of using this silicone. Makes everything sticky. The good thing with electric tape, if you tighten it a bit, it will form around whatever you do, and it will almost like weld itself to the shapes and the sizes and make it really tight. Just need to see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th bolt will be located here. So now it will be just a matter of screwing this into place. This beauty of a repaired ABS box, or 2 times repaired ABS box, and then going for a drive, you will have both lights on, ABS and tracks, and once you reach 40 kilometers it will do a self-check. You will probably feel it a bit in the brake pedal if you have a light pressure on it, that it vibrates, or perhaps even in the gas at the vibration, then lights will come off. So thank you, and until next time, if you have any suggestions of stuff you want me to break while repairing them, or just other video guides, please put them in the comments. If you don't want to see more of this, please don't subscribe in any case whatsoever. Okay, this farce has gone far too long, but hopefully you won't make the same mistakes as I have, and